Time now for sports news on the news at 10 with Kayode Alayode.
Hello and welcome to Sports News. 29 out of 31 sports federations boards have been inaugurated by the Ministry of Youth and Sports in Abuja. The ministry said the boards of gymnastics and taekwondo federations were not inaugurated owing to inconclusive elections which will be resolved in about 2 weeks.
I expected more, but bear this in mind. We just came back from the World Championship last week, just last week for the Under-21. And we went for Nigeria for the qualification of African Nation qualification. And we are going to Cairo. So we have a lot before the end of the year.
One of the most important things we want to achieve, even in line with the directive of the Honorable Minister of Sport and Youth, is to quickly go down to the grassroots and bridge the gap that is existing. Because there we have the hidden talents to start bringing them up in preparation to take over from the aging players who have done so well in this very sport.
And while Mark Mentors have threatened to pull out of the Nigeria Premier Basketball League, the Otukpo-based team alleged that their players and officials were attacked by fans of Niger Porters in Minna. These forced the game at the College of Education basketball arena to be abandoned with scoreline at 48 to 42 points. President of Mark Mentors, Igoche Mark, wants the Nigeria Basketball Federation, NWBF, to investigate the incident. And Sunshine Stars head coach Duke Udi expects a tough game against El Kanemi Warriors in tomorrow's Week 31 clash in the Nigeria Professional Football League. The ex-international believes his rejuvenated side is mentally and physically ready to play the match and secure maximum points against their opponents, despite playing their home games outside of their base in Akure. The game will be played at the Otumba Dipo Dinner International Stadium in Ijebu-Ode. The Akure Gunners are 15th on the league table with 39 points. Let's go abroad now. In the Chinese Super League, Guangzhou Evergrande faced Shanghai SIPC in a top of the table clash. After a scoreless first half, Guangzhou Evergrande found the back of the net early in the second half through substitute Allen. Shanghai SIPC quickly responded with a goal after Brazilian El Kesson set up a Woolley for his first goal of the night. Both sides scored another goal each, which keeps Guangzhou Evergrande just a point ahead of the Shanghai SIPC at the top of the table. And just before we let you go, Chris Froome has effectively clinched his 4th Tour de France title after finishing 3rd on the penultimate stage of the race in Marseille. Briton Froome finished 6 seconds behind stage winner Marseille Bordner. The 32-year-old took time out of all his major yellow jersey rivals on a 22.5 kilometers individual time trial. And that's all on sports news. Gimba Umar is back in just a moment. Stay with us.
3 Israeli civilians have been stabbed to death in a settlement near Ramallah in the occupied West Bank, with another Israeli wounded in the attack in Halamish. The Israeli army say the attacker was shot and caught. The attacks came near the end of a day of clashes between Palestinians and Israeli forces over new security measures at the Jerusalem holy site. 3 Palestinians were killed and hundreds were hurt in East Jerusalem and the West Bank. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has said that he is freezing all contact with Israel after it installed metal detectors at the site known to Muslims as Haram al-Sharif and to Jews as the Temple Mount. Israel says that the extra security is needed after 2 Israeli policemen were killed near the site a week ago. President Donald Trump has attacked what he describes as illegal leaks following reports his Attorney General Jeff Sessions discussed campaign-related matters, including Mr. Trump's position on policies significant to Russia with a Russian envoy. During his confirmation hearing earlier this year, Mr. Sessions said he had no contact with Russians during the election campaign. When it later emerged he did, he said that the campaign was not discussed at the meeting. Meanwhile, President Trump has asked Congress to increase the defense budget. He said this at the commissioning of the U.S. Navy's first Ford-class aircraft carrier, USS Gerald R. Ford, at the Naval Station Norfolk.
Now we need Congress to do its job and pass the budget that provides for higher, stable, and predictable funding levels for our military needs that our fighting men and women deserve, and you will get, believe me.
President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump. And the main news again. Voters today turned out in Lagos State to elect their councillors and chairmen in the first council polls in 5 years. The exercise was adjudged peaceful but characterized by low voter turnout. Also today, the federal government announced that it will end the special rehabilitation of the 106 rescued Chibok girls in September, as plans have been put in place for the girls to resume studies. And 3 Israeli civilians were today stabbed to death following a clash between Israeli and Palestinian forces near Ramallah in the West Bank. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. On behalf of all of us here, have a splendid night, first. Good night.